Opposition sources say at least 16 insurgents have been killed in a bombing, by rival militant groups in the Syrian city of Aleppo. The sources say the incident came after a militant from the al-Qaeda-linked group blew up his explosives at a site used by foreign-backed insurgents in the northern city. Sources say the attack was carried out by the al-Qaeda-linked, the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant. Infighting among insurgent groups in Syria has intensified in recent months. This comes as the Syrian army continues to make gains in Aleppo. Joining us now is our correspondent Muhammad Ali from Damascus via Skype to tell us a bit more about the situation there. Muhammad, it seems that the infighting amongst different al-Qaeda-linked factions on Syrian soil is not coming to an end. In fact, it's intensifying. Tell us a bit more. It seems we're having some technical difficulties there with Muhammad. We'll try and get him back up for you to give you a clearer picture of what's taking place. Okay, I'm being told Muhammad is back on the line with us. Muhammad, if you have my voice, tell us a bit more about this recent spate of infighting going on Syrian soil between different insurgent groups.
Yes, as you have just said, it seems that fighting continues to intensify between foreign-backed militants themselves, especially the so-called Islamic State in Iraq and the Levant, the Islamic Front, and the FSA. Now, the latest developments we have is that reports coming out from Aleppo, especially from the area of Al-Ra'i, an area north of Aleppo over there, where one of the armed men, a suicide bomber actually from the so-called ISIL, was wearing an explosive belt. He headed to one of the headquarters of Liwa al-Tawheed. It is one of the main brigades of the so-called Islamic Front over there. He was going there pretending to be aiming to negotiate with them. As soon as he entered the room, the operation room of Liwa al-Tawheed, he blew himself up, killing over a dozen of foreign-backed militant extremists of the Islamic Front, two of whom were two leaders of the Liwa al-Tawheed. Their names were Imad Iman, and the other was named Abd al-Man'am Frandal. Of course, we cannot independently verify or confirm such news. However, those are the reports that we got from north of Aleppo. This is, of course, a sign of intensifying clashes happening over there, especially in North Aleppo, Idlib, and Al-Raqqa between the ISIL and the Islamic Front. There were also some clashes reported between the ISIL and the Islamic Front in Deir al-Zor also. So you can see that in northern Aleppo, clashes do intensify between the armed groups themselves. Each group aims to perhaps gain more ground in northern Syria, but at the end of the day, they all say that, especially those that are al-Qaeda-linked, their aim is to establish a so-called Islamic State. So at the end of the day, they're all fighting each other, not for the democracy, not for the sake of the Syrians themselves. Those are foreigners, Qaeda-affiliated groups that only want their own interests.
Okay, our correspondent Muhammad Ali, they're reporting from the Syrian capital Damascus via Skype. Muhammad, thanks very much indeed.